Caitlin, let's go over your paper or your summary, the draft that you turned in. I have a couple things open. One, this is your draft, and here I have your outline, and here I have the rubrics. And right now, where we're at in this process of writing the summary, you haven't added your dress ups yet, so I haven't put a grade on that. Your spelling for your summary looks fine. Capitalization looks fine. Your punctuation, I did find one punctuation error, and I'm going to go over with you in just a minute. Your usage is fine. It's not double spaced, but we're not to our final document yet, so I'm not going to put a grade there. You do have your title. You did use your outline for writing. I looked at your outline and I could tell that you took the information from your outline and used for your writing. Your source, it looks like you used Wikipedia, and Wikipedia is not a source that can be used for research. And so Wikipedia has no author, it has no date, and it really doesn't have a publication. And then the last credit down here is the 15-point outline, and you did do that. In order to get good information, Wikipedia, just let me back up a minute. Wikipedia is an editable kind of database where anybody can change it. So you don't know if the information you have is actually current information. Anyone can change it and have their changes submitted. So we can't use Wikipedia. Wikipedia is fine to look things up that maybe you're not really counting on that information being truly accurate. But for research writing, you need to pick a publication that has an author, a date, and a publication, if at all possible. And I did find this site, the Toilet Paper Encyclopedia. It doesn't have an author on it, from what I could find, unless we wanted to use him as the author, and he does list himself as the author. And when I went to the history and timeline, it does have a date down at the bottom. It shows when it was updated, 2014, so it's current. Our publication is supplytime.com, and so this meets the criteria for a source, in that we can identify an author, we can identify a date so we know it's current information, and we can identify a publisher, which would be supplytime.com, toilet-paper-world, toiletpaperworld.com. So that would be a much better source. I'm sorry that keeps popping up. And so you can either try and do another source, or we can just go with what we have at this point, and that is what I would rather do. I would rather just go with what we have at this point and let you go ahead and start dressing this up and using your dress ups and putting it in a paragraph form so we can move forward with this assignment. And let me get to your paper. Here we go. And since I didn't have it as a Word document, I can't write on it, so I'm just going to point, and hopefully you'll be able to use that information to get your summary going. You don't have your dress ups in it. The spelling is fine. The only punctuation error I found was right in here where it says, obviously the folks at Wikipedia never had to stick toilet paper up their noses to stop a bloody nose. Right, a soft paper product used to maintain personal, well actually that is that right there, the person, that is a usage error, so it should have been personal hygiene, defecation, or urination. And it looks like right there you have a series, so it should be personal hygiene, comma, defecation, comma, or urination. And then we should have a period. Then a capitalization. Obviously the folks at Wikipedia never had to stick toilet paper up their noses to stop a bloody nose, or use toilet paper to smash small spiders with. So that's the only really usage punctuation errors I found are right in there. And I'm assuming when you write this, you're going to include this in these listed points in a written form, not as a list. And the other thing, be sure and double space it using the complete 2.0 in your Word. So when you type your paper, history of toilet paper, I spelled toilet paper wrong. There we go. And I'm just going to copy and paste that over and over and over. Whoops, that's from a book I'm proofing for an author, but that's fine. When you are using your double space, use the full 2.0, which is right here, because when it's double spaced, it's 2.0, and that's what we're looking for the Modern Language Association, which is our guide for most written work. Let me go ahead and close out of that. And when you write research writing, don't use I, don't use you. So those aren't things that you use in research writing at all. It's a pity that schools do not include the history of toilet paper, so I will educate you myself. And if you wanted to go with that line of writing, you might put something like, it's a pity that schools do not include the history of toilet paper, so hopefully this paper will educate the reader. So that's how you would handle it if you want to go with that type of writing. But the whole purpose is to educate your readers, so you really don't have to state that. So go ahead. Your assignment is to take this information, put it in paragraph format, double space it, and then resubmit it. Let me get a new document and write down everything for you. So I want you to double space it. With 2.0. Put your information in a paragraph format. Add your dress-ups. And the dress-ups we're working on are www.asia, our who which clause, strong verb, ly, and I can't think of the other one. www, who's which, strong quality adjective. And add them, and then also underline them and mark them. And so how do you underline with Word? You just do underline like that and mark the type of dress up. Let's, after it, put it in parentheses and mark what it is. And so that's what I want you to do for your homework. Double space 2.0. Put your information in paragraph format. Add your dress ups, underline them, and mark the type of dress ups. I'm not putting a due date on this because I know we're on Christmas break, but we're trying to get at least move forward a little bit in these assignments. I want to get you through a research paper for first semester, so that's our goal, to get that first semester grade. So, you know, if you can get it turned in to me, the sooner the better. And I will get your next assignment back to you as soon as I possibly can too. And you might just text me when you turn it in, because I haven't been checking my Jupiter grades every day. And if you could text me or Facebook me, I have Messenger on my phone, something like that, so it would alert me that you've turned in your assignment. And also turn it in as a Word on the Jupiter. And that way, if you text me that you've turned it in and it doesn't show up, then I'll know to contact you, because before, when it wasn't showing up, I just thought you hadn't turned it in. And so that kind of cost us a little bit of time. So as soon as you turn it in, send me a text or a message on Facebook and let me know that you have turned it in. So we just have a few things. We're getting it cleaned up a little bit more formal for getting ready to write a research paper. That's the end of the video.